Do not do this after fasting. Christian advice every believer must know. Do you know the mistakes that can nullify your fast? Join Josephine and Pastor Mrs. Smith as they discuss what not to do after fasting, how to break your fast rightly, and how to walk in spiritual victory.
This emotional and relatable podcast includes practical tips and Bible references to strengthen your faith.
Good day, beautiful people. Welcome back to Pray with Confidence, your safe space to grow spiritually, strengthen your prayer life, and walk closer with God. I'm your host, Josephine, and today I have a very special guest, Pastor Mrs. Smith, here to discuss something so important for every believer, things we must never do after fasting. Pastor Mrs. Smith, welcome.
Thank you so much, Josephine. It's such a joy to be here, to encourage and warn believers about pitfalls that can steal the blessings of their fast.
Yes, and before we dive in, I want to remind all our viewers. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and hit that like button so more people can be blessed through this message. Pastor, many people fast, but sometimes they don't understand why. Could you briefly explain the spiritual purpose of fasting?
Of course, fasting is not just skipping meals, it's a spiritual discipline meant to draw us closer to God. It's a time to humble ourselves, seek His guidance, and pray earnestly. Joel 2:12 says, "Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning." When we fast, we're declaring that God is more important than our physical needs. It's a spiritual reset, a time to hear from Him clearly.
Amen. And I think many of us forget that the moment the fast is broken is just as important as the fast itself. That's where many believers make mistakes.
Exactly. Josephine, let's talk about the first danger, returning to sinful habits immediately after fasting.
Oh yes, that is so relatable. You pray for victory over anger or gossip, and the very next day, you're back at it.
Yes, and that's dangerous. Isaiah 58:6-7 reminds us that fasting is about justice, mercy, and humility, not just abstaining from food. If you break your fast and continue in sin, it nullifies the spiritual power of your fast.
So true. What about the next one?
Another mistake is showing off. Many believers want recognition after a fast, posting on social media, bragging to friends. Matthew 6:16-18 warns us, "When you fast, do not look somber as the hypocrites do, but when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that it will not be obvious to others that you are fasting." Fasting is for God, not for human applause.
Wow, that hits hard, and I feel like this one is common, eating without wisdom after fasting. People break their fast with heavy, spicy foods and wonder why they feel sick.
Exactly. Our bodies have been in a spiritual and physical detox. Overeating or eating carelessly can harm you and distract from the spiritual focus of the fast.
I can relate, and the last one I'd love for you to share.
The final one is thinking fasting automatically solves all your problems. Fasting opens doors spiritually, but it must be coupled with faith, prayer, obedience, and action. James 2:17 says, "Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead."
Wow, so fasting is like planting seeds, but we have to water them with consistent faith and obedience. Pastor, after all these warnings, what is the best way to break a fast?
Break your fast slowly, humbly, and prayerfully. Start with light meals, spend time thanking God, and continue in prayer. Let your fasting experience translate into lasting spiritual growth, not just temporary sacrifice.
Amen. That is such practical advice. Viewers, remember, it's not about how long you fast, but what you do with the strength and clarity God gives you. Pastor Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for sharing these truths. Believers, let's be careful, don't let the power of fasting go to waste. Obey, walk in humility, and let fasting transform you inside out.
Amen. Remember, your fast is a spiritual weapon. Guard it well.
Before we close, a gentle reminder, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, comment below if this message touched your heart, and share it with someone who needs it. Let's grow together in prayer and faith. Thank you so much for listening. May God bless you abundantly as you fast, pray, and walk in His ways.